Thank you, once we started. Okay, started the recording. So started the Docker, connected to the machine and started Docker. Now let's start with the Docker basic command. The first most basic command is Docker images. This command will list the images available on this Docker host. See, you should get used to the terminology and understand this terminology. Docker host is nothing but the machine where Docker is installed and where Docker is running. Okay, so Docker images will list the images present on the Docker host. Here, this particular EC2 instance is the Docker host, and as it is new machine, we don't have any images. Okay, fine, but I would like to run the image. I believe you remember the formula. You run the images. Which image? Some image called Hello World. Okay, I'm trying to run some image called Hello World, but Hello World is not present locally. What happens now if I try to run some image which is not present locally? What happens to this?
It's pull from repository.
Sorry?
It's pull from repository.
Okay,
Doc
yeah, let's see what happens. This image is not available, but I'm trying to run image. See, it was searching locally. Do you see it was searching for hello world locally? Because it's not there, it's pulling from the library. This is nothing but the registry Docker Hub, the default public registry. Okay, means what Docker will do is it will first search for that image locally. If it is not there, it will pull from the Docker Hub and it will deploy the image. That's how it works. Okay, and it pulls and it runs. And when you run an image, what happens? The formula, recollect the formula. When you run an image, what happens?
Container will be generated.
Container will be created, and here this hello world image, this hello world container is created in such a way that, okay, it will display this welcome message. Okay, that's what it is doing. It means it's a sample or the basic image. Whenever it is deployed, that's how it works. It will show you like when it will be deployed. Like, sorry, it will show you the welcome message like this. Okay, so that's what it was showing. It was showing you some welcome message. But yeah, containers are created. How to see the containers? Docker PS will show the containers which are running. But I don't see it. Means it might be stopped. If you want to see all the containers which are running and stopped, you can do PS minus A. Yes, you can see a container. Every container will have a container ID, which is alphanumeric. But we can't remember it, right? So it will also assign a random name to container. It has assigned something like sharp snider. This is assigned by Docker daemon, Docker engine by default. Okay, so that's your container name. This is your container ID and it's coming from this image, hello world. Okay, so fine. This is how you can see an image.
We have not created the image, right?
We have not created, we were
Yeah.
using some default basic image.
Yes, but even default, so it automatically gets registered, or it pulls out from the hub, or we will have to register.
I'll tell you. Okay. So first thing is whenever you run an image, it will search for this image locally. If the image is not there, it will pull from the Docker Hub, the default public registry, and it will start a container from it. And every container will have the ID and name. And it got stopped actually. Okay, why it got stopped, that's another part we'll discuss. But yeah. And because whenever you did this, your container is downloaded. Do you see that? Hello world. I have one image now. What if you run this again? What happens if you run this image again? You can run the same image any number of times. Each time you run, a new container will be created. Okay, but this time it is available locally. So it don't need to download again. You see, it's not saying unable to find, pulling it from up. It just started another container. Even that will be stopped. And you can see a new container is created with this ID and with this name. Okay, so you can run the same image any number of times. Image is a static file. When you run it, a container instance will be created. And each time you run a new container and a random name will be assigned. But let's say you want to assign your own name like C1 to your container. That is possible. You can do that. Okay. You can do that with a name flag. It will assign the container. Okay. Docker PS. Sorry. They're all stopped. So do you see this time it assigned your own name to the container C1. So 3 containers because I run it thrice. Clear everyone with this part?
Yes.
And then let's see the Docker Hub. I'm talking about default public registry Docker Hub. This is the one, hub.docker.com. This is where you can search for any images. I ran a sample image, which is hello world. Okay, this is the sample image, hello world. Okay, this is an example of minimal Dockerization, which you can run. Even it will have its own Docker file. We'll go to that part later, but yeah, it's a public. So what it will do, it will search locally. If it is not found locally, it will pull from the hub and use it. Okay, it will pull from the hub automatically. It's a public registry. It's a public image. You don't need to do anything for it. But you may be having a question. Yesterday we were talking about this formula, right? We were executing this part today. We were working on this part. This is the part we are working on. We are running an image container is created. This part we will discuss later. Okay. Docker image, base image we'll discuss. And see, this is the container. Container is like a container in the transportation world. You put everything and ship it. Similarly, we put your application, the code, the binaries, and run it anywhere. And this is the Docker architecture. Let's have a look at it. Like how it is pulling from the hub, right? Docker hub. Docker hub, I told you, a storage place of images is called a registry. This is the default registry. Default registry, a component in the Docker architecture. You have different components like Docker client, Docker host, and the registry. Okay, registry is a storage place of your images, and there are different ways you connect to it, like Docker build, Docker pull, Docker run. You have seen Docker run, right? So first component in the Docker architecture is Docker client. Docker client is nothing but an interface with which you connect with your Docker daemon. Means it could be a terminal. It's a terminal in our case where you run Docker commands. From there, you're connecting to daemon, right? Daemon is nothing but your Docker engine, Docker package, Docker tool, whatever. So whenever you run any Docker command, see, they goes to Docker daemon and Docker daemon does the respective task. Whenever you do Docker run, it will first search locally. See these dots, these dotted line. Okay, line with a dot and a like hyphen. So it will search locally. If it is not there, it will pull from the hub and it will start a container. So registry is another component in the Docker architecture. That's why you don't need to do anything additionally for it to connect to the registry. They will be communicating via HTTPS and REST API. That's a part of Docker components or a part of Docker architecture. That's why you could pull the image from there. Are we good? We talk about connection modes and all. So yeah, you can pull any image. Let me pull some image, or else you can also search images, any images here. Let's say I want to search for something like Ubuntu. See, so many Ubuntu images. This is one Ubuntu, this is also Ubuntu, this is also Ubuntu. All of this means Ubuntu with different packages, Ubuntu with SQL, Ubuntu with Squid, Ubuntu with Nginx, Ubuntu Cortex, Ubuntu with Prometheus, Kafka. So many are there. You can search here, or else you can also search from the CLI. Docker search Ubuntu. It will list here, and whenever you list, here you are seeing this means it indicates it's an official Docker image. You are seeing this badge means it's official Docker image, means managed and maintained by Docker. Okay. Similarly, from CLI, how do you identify? See, official column is okay, means they're officially supported. Right? I'm sorry. Something wrong with my keyboard. Okay. So yeah, now this is how you search, right? I'm searching this. I just clicked once. Sorry. Give me a second, please. Give me 1 second, please. I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay. Docker search Ubuntu. So you can see here the images, right? You can see here, these are all images. But when you see here, you can understand like how to identify this image name, right? Like you see Ubuntu /Nginx, some are having slashes, some are not having slashes and all, right? So how to identify or how to understand this image name, that is what you need to understand. Okay, so how to understand this image name? Like you are seeing this kind of thing, right? So to understand this, we need to understand the hierarchy, how images are stored. Let's understand the hierarchy. So first, let's talk about how images are stored. Like I told you, images are stored in something called registry. Images are stored in something called registry. Registry is a storage place of images. And again in the registry, they are stored inside something called repositories. By the way, what is a repository? Repositories are like a folders, okay, where you will store like images. You will store like images. It's like a repository where you store like images or similar images. Like let's say let's suppose you want to store so many images related to Ubuntu, right? You will create a repository called Ubuntu. Within this, you will store the images, right? All images related to Ubuntu, or else you may have CentOS. You will put all images related to CentOS, but each image is identified by a tag. Meaning, that's the hierarchy. Like, yeah. Inside the registry, you can have multiple repositories. Inside the repositories, images are stored in the form of tags. Sorry. Images are stored in the form of tags. Of course, it can have multiple tags. Tag 1, tag 2, and so on. 2 images means 2 tags. 3 images, 3 tags, and so on. Each repository can have any number of tags. This is the hierarchy you have to understand. And image name will be this format: registry name, registry name, repository name, colon tag name for official images. Official means officially created, maintained by Docker. If it is unofficial, like your own images, it would be like again registry address, username of your Docker Hub account, repository, and tag name. You have to have clarity on it because that's how you will see your image name. And whenever you push your image, Your image name explicitly tells the address of where it is located, right? And if you don't put registry name, let's suppose I'll not put registry name. Let's say I'm not keeping registry name. You don't put registry name, is by default it's considered as Docker Hub. And if you don't put tag name, by default it's considered as latest tag. If you don't give tag, it will append latest. If you don't put registry, it will consider it as default public registry docker.io. Docker Hub is the public registry. Again, registries are of two types: public, and private. Okay, public means anyone can pull the images, push the images. Of course, to push, you need to have Docker Hub is a public registry. Okay. Even though, okay, you may be having question, if it is public, how companies are storing? Yes, inside this public, you can have private repositories as well. Of course, you will have public repos, private repos. Companies will have private repositories where access can be restricted and they'll store there. But still, there will be some companies, even though they are private repositories, they are not supposed to host there depending on their security norms and all. So they will use their private registries. Examples are ECR, Elastic Container Registry Service, Google Container Registry Service, Azure Container Registry Service, or else you have Nexus, JFrog. All of them can be used like a private repositories. Okay, whether it is Docker Hub or whether it is private registries and private repositories, this concept is same. Image name tells you the path and the location where it is stored explicitly. You don't need to ask where is your image name. This speaks everything. This speaks everything. If it is JFrog, it will be appended, it will be prefixed with the JFrog registry address, the URL of JFrog. Right? That's how when you see the image, you understand, okay, where is it located? Who is the user, or what is the repo, what is the tag, everything. Let me show you to understand this better. Let me show you. Okay. Now, this is my account. You can create a free account, like you create any Docker Hub account, you can create a free account. And this is where you will see. Okay, this is your account, username and password. So I have created my own repositories. Do you see how many repositories do I have here? How many repositories do I have here?
4. 1.
4. Okay, if I go to my image repository, how many images do I have here?
3.
3.
3 tags. Means 3 image, these 3. Tag is v2, v1, Dockerfile. Okay. And again, in the repositories, how many are public, how many are private here? Here you will see public. 3 are public, 1 is private. This is my free account. With free account, you can create 1 private repository. That's what I did. If you want to create more repositories, go here. Public, you can create any, but let's say I want more private. It's not possible because only 1 you can create with free. Already I have done. But if you want to create more private repositories, you should go with some paid accounts. We don't need it. 1 private repo is enough for, okay, for our hands-on. Understood this? Now let's say I want to pull some image. Let's suppose I want to pull this deploy. I need it. Maybe this one. Okay, let me pull this image. See, pull, push commands were also there. See, username, no registry name. Because if I don't put registry name means it's by default Docker Hub. So let us say Docker pull. Let it come up. We'll first pull some image from Docker Hub, my image from public registry, and we'll make some changes and try to push it back. We are learning the basic commands, pull, push of Docker images.
Here we could also run Docker run for this. So we have to run specifically the pull command, or we can also run Docker run.
Pull command will just
Because
download. Pull command will just download the command. Download the image. Whereas run command will download and run the container if you want. Here I'm just pulling it. I don't want a container. I just want to
okay,
download the image.
okay,
Docker pull username and the repository name is my image. If you want, you can recheck. This is the repository name, my image, and I want to pull v1. Okay, so my image colon v1. So see username. This is actually repository name and the tag name. You might be having question, where is registry address? If you don't put registry address, means by default it will consider as Docker Hub. Okay. And if you don't put the tag, you leave the tag like this, it will consider latest. See, using default tag latest. But latest tag is not there. If it is there, it is fine. It's not there, right? Following everyone, all the 20 joinees.
sorry, what is this latest this thing? Could you please tell me again?
Like you have any other tag, latest is another tag name. Okay, if you don't mention the tag name, it will consider as latest. I did not put the tag name, so it was trying to download tag with latest. Because it is not there, it's giving error.
Okay.
Everyone following?
Yeah.
Okay, so because there is no latest tag, you put the proper tag name. Now it will pull, anyone can pull because it's a public repository. See, it's downloading. You can see those are all layers. We'll talk about what is inside later. But when you see the list, yes. Repository, that's a repository name. That's why Hello World also shown under repository. I did not put tag, so it used latest. But because that tag is available, it pulled it. Making sense? Am I making sense?
Got it. Yeah.
And this is the image downloaded. But will it create a container as well?
No.
Mm,
No.
Run command will only create. See,
Yes.
it doesn't create container from this image, just downloaded it. That's the difference between pull and run. Okay, anyway, I got the image. Let's suppose I want to make some image changes to this image. Image is read only. How do you make changes? That's a different story. Okay, let me tell you. Let's say I have created a copy of the same image. Because I just want to push to some other registry or some other repository. What you can do is tag it. Tag which image? This image. If you want to create a copy of the same image with a different name, you can tag it like I'm giving as V3. You may change, you may use another username also, means you may want to push to another account or another repo also fine. What it will do? It will create a copy of this image as this one. Okay. And then now you can push.
Docker push.
So where it will go? The address is this account, this repo as a V3 tag. See, there is no V3 as of now, but when I push, you will see V3. You just created a copy of the same image and pushing it. Am I making sense? But to push, yes, you need to have authentication. See, authorization, authentication required, unauthorized, authentication required. Okay, you can pull, but you can't push even though it's a public registry. You have to do Docker login, my username, and password. And you just try to understand here, whenever you do login, the credentials will be stored in this folder. There is a hidden folder .docker created. In this, you will see config.json. Do you see that? Can you see that? Yeah. So, yeah, you will see the config.json here. And yeah. So though that's where credentials are stored. But now let's try to push. It should be pushing successfully to that particular repo. That's how you push and pull, whether it is private registry or public registry, whatever it is, that is the whole concept. Tagging is used to properly tag your image because see, okay, see, this is one pushed just now at 8:03 a.m. Okay, suppose, see, tagging is important because let's say I have something else, hello world. Okay, I got it from somewhere. Let's say I want to push it to my account. If I do this way, will it go to my account?
No.
It will try to
Latest.
push to Hello World repository. Hello World is not my repository. I can't push to there. It's a public repository. I don't have access to make changes. But let's say I want to store it in my account. What you can do? You can tag
Tag.
the name with a proper name into whatever account you want to push. Let's say I want to push to my repo or else maybe something else, some other repo. Okay, like this one or this one or this one. You can put those names, but I don't want to mess up those repos. So let's say I'll use my image with the tag as v4. So it's creating a copy type of hello world. I don't put tag name because it's a latest. It will consider latest. Means first it will create a copy of it. Okay, as such. Now you push this. It will go to the appropriate location wherever you need. Docker push.
So first we tag it, then we push it. So we're gonna
Tag it if it is not with the proper name, or tag it if you want to push to some other registries, repositories. Okay, if your name is different from where you want to push, if the image name is different from where you have to push, because image name tells the address of it, then you tag it. Okay, now it as it is pushed. Let's see here. Refresh this. Understood the tag command. Pushed just now 8.5. Are we good?
So if I
Hmm.
have any hello world like an old image, right? So can we tag like hello world colon v1 or v2 versions and push it?
You can tag, but you cannot push to Hello World repository. That's a
No,
public.
not a hello world repository. Let's say if hello world image you have latest one, but I'm working on maybe v10 image v10 tag. So I have both v10 and the latest. So if I want to push the v10 one to my repository, you just first tag it locally and then push it, right?
Yes, yeah, same thing. You may change completely the repository registries, or you just keep the same repo, tag name, anything you can change.
But hello world two images, if they exist two images, how do you tag that like with the latest
Two
and the
images will have some tags, right?
so you have to use the tag name, okay.
That's complete image name. You can't use only repo name. If the tag is latest, you may simply say hello world.
Okay.
Okay, there will not be another hello world with latest tag. It is unique. Tag names will be unique. But if repository name is same, tag name will be unique. See, these are repository names are unique, same, tag names are different.
What if the tag name is same and I'm making any changes and append the same this thing then image?
Image names will be unique first. Image name means including tag name. If repository is same, this is repository, you can't have same tags.
Okay.
This is about private registry. Sorry, public registry. Let's look into one private registry. Good to go, or any questions from anyone?
Yeah, pretty like the repo is not there, so it is
Hmm?
creating a new repo or
It will create the new repo if it is not there.
right.
Let's say my new repo. Okay, I don't have such repos, right? I don't have a repo by name my new repo. Do I have it? Okay. So tagging is just naming it. First, let's tag it. Let's say my new repo. Tagging hello world with this name. Now push it. But that repo is not there. What happens now?
It will create.
Yeah. You may also create here, or else no problem. It will create and it will push. Let's see. Tagging is just to put the proper name, proper address to the image. So let's see what happened now. It should have created a repo. Do you see? Last image push less than a second. Another repo got created and your image v4 will be pushed in here. Good.
So it will not, to create a repo, it will not ask for the credentials.
I already did Docker login,
Yeah.
right? Docker login you have to do once because we already did Docker login. It will.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will ask for the credentials if you don't log in.
So if I have like a private Docker Hub, in the Docker Hub itself, if I want to create a private repo, like do I need to mention that over there, or?
Private repos, only one private repo you can create because I already had one. If it is a private, you have to put the flag, like whenever you are pushing a private repo should be created. By default, it will create public only.
Okay, okay.
Privates you have to create. Okay. So that's about public registry. Let's use some private registries like ECR. What is this ECR? This is another service of AWS. We were using EC2 service till now. This is the second service in our course, ECR, Elastic Container Registry Service. It might be Nexus, JFrog, or GCR, whatever it is. Here is something. Let me just create a new repo for you, a private repo called repo2. Okay, I just created a repo2 and it is not having any images. Now I just want to create an image and push here. Okay. First, to create an image, you should have an image of this sort, isn't it? Like the tag name, this is the registry address. Do you see it's giving you example, Docker tag, your image with this name. This is the registry address. So it is giving you the help kind of. See. Docker images. Okay, let's say I just want to push this one. Any image. Tag is v3. I want to push to ECR means your image name should be as such. So this is the registry address and it's considering tag as v2 latest. I would like to put v3 tag. First image should be created. Your image name tells everything explicitly. I told you, right? So see here. If I push, will it go to Docker Hub or where will it go?
ECR.
ECR. Your
Amazon
image
AWS.
name tells everything. Okay, these are not having registry address means they go to Docker Hub, but this is having registry address, a repository, tag name. Now if I push, where it will go?
To that repo.
ECR, right? So that's all. Push, pull commands remain same. Your image name tells everything. That's it. That's the point you need to know. It's not something else different in private repo. It's something else in JFrog. No, everything is same, but this is how your image name tells the address, the path, location, whatever you call it. When you push, it should go. But you don't have authentication to AWS ECR. You have done Docker login to Docker Hub, but you should also authenticate to ECR, correct? Yeah, that's what we have to do. How do you do that? It's giving you clue. See, AWS ECR get login command. This is the command you should run. But you should have AWS CLI installed. AWS CLI comes by default. Do you see comes by default on all EC2 instances? If you are using some other instance and you are trying to push to ECR, you have to install AWS CLI because this is AWS command. Okay, this is the AWS CLI command which will authenticate. See, Docker login, username, your account ID, and so on. When you do, please listen and I'll take up the questions. And it is giving you, it could not identify the credentials, right? What you have to do is another AWS command called AWS configure. It will ask you for access key and secret access key. What are these? These access key, secret key are for authentication from CLI. Till now, we are connecting from the console. To authenticate from the CLI, you should go to the security credentials. Okay, create a access key, secret key here. I already have some access key, secret key. So it's already there. Okay, what I can do is I can disable something, deactivate, and deactivate. And your access key, that's how your access key, like username and the password, these are to be stored very confidentially. Only 2 access keys you can create. That's why you cannot create before, but because I deleted one, it was showing me. I understand the root access. I'm doing it with root. See, you have to download this file. Only for one time it will allow you to download. Later on it will not. Okay, if you want, you can see it, but they are confidential. You should not share them with anyone. If they were shared, you will be losing control, or means anyone can do anything. So this is the one I just created. I'm deactivating it. Even after the class, I'll delete this. So you should use those credentials from your AWS CLI to authenticate. I have this one already, I'll use it, okay? Understood access key, secret key? Put that access key ID. See, it will ask you for secret. You downloaded that Excel, right? Go to that Excel. You will have access key, secret keys. Use it. Oh, just a second. I'm using that Excel file. And let me put the key. Done. Region, in what region you are doing? I'm doing it in AP South 1, that's all. Okay, that's how you authenticate from. Now run that AWS ECR command. See, login succeeded. Even those credentials also stored in the same file in Docker. This is Docker Hub credentials. This is ECR credentials. That's how you authenticate. Now that I have authenticated, I can push the image successfully. Okay, image is pushed. Docker images, Docker PS. Of course, PS nothing, but yeah, we push the image. We have to see here. So close this, refresh it. Yes. Do you see your image push just now? And like this is when you go here, this is your image name, URI, your complete image name. Are we good? Now, any questions in this logins? Push pull to ECR? Anyone? All of your questions should be cleared by now, but still any
Why
question?
is that Preethi, like with 2 access, I have 2 access with any key I can push that image, right? Or it is any specific key, access
This one
key.
you are talking about?
Credentials, we have 2, right? So how to
I
know
just
which?
created some time back, and to show you, I am creating again. You can have one is enough. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I just to show you, I created one more. And the purpose of this, if you want one more why you need, we'll discuss those, okay? As per the context, we shall proceed with the things. Any more questions? Understood push, pull, private registries, public registries. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
On second key, after the first one, we have downloaded into the downloads folder.
Mm.
We are editing to editor and copy that same into the ECR. How it works?
We downloaded the file and here we enter those credentials. Open that file and enter the credentials here. Access key, secret key. That's
For secret key, we are opening through
Excel file. It's an Excel file. You open it, the Excel file, and put the credentials. It's an Excel file where you have these keys stored.
yes, sure.
And let me show you a sample one. That's how it is. You copy from here, it's an Excel.
Yes, sure.
That's an Excel file. Got it right? Any more questions? Okay, these are the images and these are the containers. So, yeah, no running containers are there. All the containers are stopped. Now my point is, okay, they are getting stopped immediately. But in real time, I may have to run it to keep the container running, keep the service running, right? How do we do that? That's where you have to run the containers in different modes. First one is interactive terminal detached mode. What is that? It's an interactive terminal detached mode. Minus ITD mode. Interactive terminal detached mode. Okay, that's how you should run. So what I'll do here, Docker run minus ITD Ubuntu. Earlier we might have run just with the run command, but Docker run minus ITD means if you run in this mode, your container will be keep on running till you stop it. See, because this Ubuntu image is not there, it has appended with the latest tag. And because it's not available locally, it might have downloaded it. First, let's see the image. Yes, this is the one which just got downloaded. And a container might have been started and it might be running. See, running containers can be seen just with PS. So, yeah, you see that a random ID and a random name is signed. And it is running from 12 seconds. See, it's running from 25 seconds. It will be running till you stop it. If you want to see all of that, including stopped, these are the containers. This is one way of starting your container so that your container would be running. Okay. Now let's say if you want to stop it, Docker stop. You may use ID or name, anything you may use. Anything is fine. Okay, if you see here, Docker PS. Okay, you can see that the container is stopped. Now, later on, suppose if you want to start it, you can use ID or name. Like I said, this time I'm using ID. Typo, Docker, typo. Now again, if you see, your container is running. Again, it will be running till you stop it. That's called container detached mode, right? What if I run again? As many number of times you run, you will get a new container created. Run command always creates a new container, right? It's AE4, this one. This got started. Even if you want, you can start it, stop it. Until you stop it, they'll be running. Okay, so that's a one thing. Let me stop them. Docker stop. First 3 letters are enough. AE4. Now, yeah. Okay. This got stopped. Okay, fine. So this is how you have. This is one mode of running. There is another mode of running the containers, which is the terminal, which is nothing but the attached mode. Means you get attached to the container, you get the shell of the container. Let me show. That's -IT mode. Means interactive terminal mode. You get the shell of the container. Let me show you. I will run Docker run -IT. Okay, again Ubuntu. But IT means you go inside the container, you get the shell, you become a root user of the container. Do you see your prompt changed? It's D3D. It is Ubuntu container. I am on EC2 earlier. What is EC2? Which Linux distribution? EC2 Linux, Amazon Linux 2, which distribution is it?
CentOS.
CentOS Red Hat based. Yum will work there. But now
Yeah.
I am in Ubuntu. Will Yum work here? See, it's just to clearly show you that we are no more on our CentOS EC2 instance, Amazon Linux 2. We are into Ubuntu container. Yum will not work because there is a different package managed on Ubuntu, which is called apt-get. See, apt-get will work. Got it? We were inside the container. That's called -IT mode, interactive terminal mode. If you want to come out, exit. When you come out, your container will be stopped, which is D3, which is D3D. Just got stopped when you came out. Right? Again, like earlier, you may start it, let's say D3D. Okay. You may stop again, or else later on, if you want to go inside, you can attach. That's one way to go inside. Any container you can go, not only this container. See, again, you got the shell. Again, you come out. It will be stopped. See, again, exited. Again, if you want to start it. See, this is running from 5 seconds. Now, if you want to again go inside this, like if you want to get inside, attach, or you can also run this exec -IT container name or ID bin bash. The meaning of it you will understand a bit later. It's nothing but executing into the shell. This is the best method rather than attach. You got the shell. Are we good?
So what is the purpose of going inside the container into the shell?
To do some
To add.
installations, to do some configurations, to make any changes. We will also do that part separately. First, let's look into the process of login, logout, starting, stopping. We will also see like when do you log in. Okay, and when I do exit, you will come out of the container and the container is stopped. But I want to come out, but don't want to stop the container. There is something called Control P, Control Q. Okay, when you do Control P, Control Q, you come out, but it is still running. Understood the difference between exit and control P, control Q? Understood or not? A thumbs up will also help me, or a chat message or your response.
So we'll have to press the control P and control Q together.
Control P, control
And
Q.
okay.
Press control P, then control Q.
Got it.
Any more questions? How many of you followed thoroughly? Thumbs up, please. Understood? How many of you understood? Thumbs up or hand raise, anything. 4 people, only 4, 5, 6. That's all. 7, 8. Again 7, 6. How about others? Is everyone attentive there in the class or not? Karthik replied in the chat. Karthik, you can put here itself. 8 people. What about rest? 7. Please keep like that. Don't remove, okay, for a while. I want to see all the responses. Put everyone thumbs up or whatever. 10 people. Not bad. How about others? Any questions? Others? Any confusions? Questions? Whoever did not understand? See, these are the basic things. Okay, you should get an idea on before you create your own images, before you do anything else. You should understand these things very well. Okay, you will not use them. We will not do this way. We will get into the right approach. But these are the things one should know before you do anything with containers. All right. So yeah, that's how you come out by stopping it, like control P, control Q, and then you come out of it. And yeah. These are the running containers. These are all the containers. Okay, this is called container life cycle. Starting, stopping, attaching, detaching. Okay, and then if you want to delete any container, that also you can do. Docker RM. Okay, let's say sharp snider. You can do this. Likewise, you may delete all the containers, but running container, can you delete? Lucid Maxwell is running. See, you cannot remove a running container. What do you have to do? Stop and delete, or else force delete. See, they were gone. Okay, that's how you delete containers. If you want to delete images, Docker RMI. Okay, RMI and the image name you want to delete. If you don't put tag, it will search for latest. Okay, it will consider latest because latest is not there with this image. It will give error. So give proper name. That's how you delete images. That's how you delete the containers. This is called container lifecycle. Starting, stopping. Suppose you want to delete all the stopped containers. Docker system prune all. It will ask you for confirmation, all stopped containers, everything. So gone. See here. Only one image is left. One container. See, why is this container left? Because that's running.
Public.
Yeah, it's running. And this container is referring this image. It's using this image. See, that's why that image is also left. Okay. So if you want, you stop and remove the container, or else force remove. FE4. Then you can delete the image as well. Docker RMI. Ubuntu. Now everything might have gone. Good? Are we good?
Preethi, like removing a container or it is in hub as well?
Hmm?
In Docker Hub also it will be removed?
No, not in Docker Hub. It is happening on your local.
Okay.
Okay, this is called container lifecycle. Starting, stopping, attaching, detaching, and all. Let me summarize. Minus ITD and minus IT. Okay, so you just run with minus ITD flag, you just run with IT flag. Run will always create a new container. Create a new container. In any modes, it may be started in any mode. Later on, these commands, common commands I'm writing. Okay, you may stop it. Common commands I'm writing in middle. This is ITD, IT. Okay, this is common. Whatever mode you have started, you created them later on, you can stop it. Okay, you can start it. You can attach to it, attach or exec, both are same. Okay, start it, stop it, attach it. Yeah, that's all. And later on, yeah, you can delete it with RM for deleting the images. Right? These are common. This is only run minus ITD, run minus IT. That's the difference. Whenever you run, it will always create a new container. New container will be created always. Okay. Start means what it will do? It will start a container which is already there. Do you know the difference? What is the difference between start and run? Start a container which is already existing, already there. Correct? Whereas run will create new container. Stop will also stop the container which is already there. Okay. Of course, that's obvious. And when you see that, you will see stop. What you will pass to the stop command? Container ID or container name. Correct? Attach to a container. Here also container ID. Remove also container ID or see when I
Image.
container ID name. Remove this one, you pass an image. This run also, you pass an image. Correct? Because you run an image. Okay? You run an image. You stop, you start a container because that's a running instance. Am I making sense with this chart?
Yeah.
Yes.
You run, don't get confused to start images. Okay, to start images, to stop images. No, those are not running instances. You should do Docker stop container ID, container. Always, whenever I say ID, you may use anything. Anything meaning ID or container name. Here also ID or container name. Here also exec ID or container name. You remove an image. You run an image. You pull an image. You don't pull containers. Okay, let me also put them. Pull here also. Pull is common, right? There is no mode for it. Pull image. Push image. That's a whole summary of what we have learned. Simple. You should do it with clarity. That's all. Good hands-on will help you. Definitely do the hands-on. Mandatory. It's mandatory. Okay. You should do Docker login to whatever registry. Okay. You have to done Docker login for Docker Hub authentication. If it is ECR, it will be like ECR get login command. Okay, where it will log in with your AWS access key and secret key. These are for authentication from the CLI. Try out everything. Everything is new for you. Try out all of that. Okay, if you are perfect now, later on sessions will be easy for you. So you should do hands-on at least twice before you come tomorrow. Once you do it, next time is very simple. You save those commands. Anyway, commands are there in the drive. Yeah. Any questions from anyone in this part?
So these are the basic commands to start, stop, remove, pull, push, right?
Yes. Those are the basic commands to get started with before you go to scenario-based things.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll get started with few interesting and very important things and in-depth concepts like port forwarding, volumes. Then comes creating our own images. Then we'll explore on what is present inside the image. All that stuff comes in.
So, Preethi,
Mm.
I have a question, not on this part.
Mm.
Like I have actually cloned your, forked your repository,
Mm.
and I also created a new branch, but I made some changes, commit, and try to push that, but it is not allowing me, saying that you don't have right permissions on the
You are pushing it to your repository or my repository?
Yes, my repository only. I don't understand. Maybe I'm
Can
doing
you
it.
show me? Can you share your screen if you can?
Yeah,
Can
wait.
share your screen, I can see the error better.
Yeah.
Any more questions, please let me know. We will stop here for today and we'll continue with the next concepts tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can let me know.
Madam, why that
You
container
don't
is
have,
You disabled.
give me a second, please. Let me complete. If you are done and don't have questions, if you are running out of time, you can feel free to leave the webinar. Others can stay back. I'll take up the queries now. Yes, please tell me now.
I'm not able to share you. I think host disabled.
I'll make you the host. Chandrasekhar, right?
It's me, Madam Vijay.
Whose screen I should share? Like who want to share the screen?
Me, myself, Chandrasekhar. I want to share it. I could not able to do. As
I
a
made
host.
Chandrasekhar as the host.
There are two Chandrasekhars actually.
Yeah, I think you shared with me.
To the right person only I shared, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He is here.
1 minute, give me a second. Yeah, show me.
Yeah, this one actually, see, now it is the current branch is QI fund test, right? This is the address
Git
group.
remote -v. Upstream is my repository. Okay. Do you have QA test in your repository? Just go and check. QA test branch is there on your remote.
It's not there, I think. I have deleted. I don't understand. Maybe doing some mistake on your repo. I don't know.
Where is your repo? That one, last one. Address book.
Yes.
So you have one branch, master branch. Okay, just go there, go back to your local. There is no QA test. How come you pull it?
No, there is no QA
Branch.
test. I have created that branch QA test after cloning it.
Just do git branch command. You have created on local, on remote.
On local.
Then how come you pull it from remote? On local you created. You should do push, right?
Yeah, I
Git
have
push
done.
origin. Git push origin QA test. Now check on remote. No, go to that one. Branch. Refresh. Go to that repo. Address book. 2 branches are there now.
So now any change.
Yes, please.
So if I made any change here, let's say suppose directly it will go. No?
Commit and push like you push it now. You have to commit and push.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
So this change is pushed or not?
You are on the QA test branch, I think.
You are pushing master. You made changes on which branch?
QA test.
You have to push PQA test. Why are you pushing master branch? You made changes on QA test. You should push QA test branch.
Okay. So from here I need to create pull request, right? If I want to merge it to master.
You can push directly to master. If you want to raise a PR, you have to raise it from the GitHub.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Understood.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. And any more questions? Vijay, are you asking something?
Initially, when we are running that image, that container is in stopping mode. What's the background? What it is stopping?
Whenever you are installing image in the background,
Okay.
can you please repeat?
Like
Okay,
we are running an image. Initially, it is in stopping mode. After creating container,
Mm, mm,
like it is in stopping mode.
mm.
What is the reason, madam, behind that?
Okay. It is in stop mode because that's how that particular image is made. Means it was when you do Docker run, okay, your executable will not be, means whenever you run container, it will start an executable. Which executable should be configured? Okay, when you do with -itd or minus only it only, that executable will be started like bin bash or bin echo kind of. When we create our Docker images, you will understand that.
Okay, madam.
We'll create our own Docker files, then you will understand that.
One more question is like the latest tag could also be the last tag, na madam.
Not last tag, latest means let's say you are having Ubuntu images, different versions of Ubuntu 16, 14. Generally, the latest will be given that latest tag. Generally, that's a practice.
Means is there any time, madam, like it only considered 1 hour below?
No, nothing like that. You have to give the tag name manually. It's not automatic.
Okay.
You have to give latest tag. You have to decide what tag you want to give for identification. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right then. Thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you.